Hey there, future college students. Feeling the pressure already? The journey to college can be a daunting one, filled with countless challenges and obstacles. From maintaining your GPA to participating in extracurricular activities, it seems like there's always something demanding your attention. But perhaps the most nerve-wracking part of this journey is the standardized tests. Yeah, applying to college can feel like navigating a maze blindfolded. You have to figure out which colleges to apply to, what their requirements are, and how to make your application stand out. And right in the middle of this maze are the SAT and ACT exams, which can feel like the ultimate test of your academic abilities. And right smack in the middle of that maze, you guessed it, standardized tests like the SAT and ACT. These exams are designed to assess your readiness for college and are a critical component of your college application. They can be the deciding factor in whether you get into your dream school or not. These exams have become a rite of passage for high school students, a hurdle you gotta jump over to reach those hallowed halls of higher education. It's like a marathon where you need to pace yourself, stay focused, and keep your eyes on the prize. But unlike a marathon, you can't just rely on physical endurance, you need to sharpen your mental skills too. But what are these tests really about? The SAT and ACT are more than just a bunch of multiple-choice questions. They are designed to measure a range of skills and knowledge that are deemed essential for success in college. This includes critical thinking, problem solving, and the ability to analyze and interpret complex information. They're more than just a bunch of multiple-choice questions, that's for sure. Each section of these tests is carefully crafted to evaluate different aspects of your academic abilities. For example, the reading section tests your comprehension and analytical skills, while the math section assesses your problem-solving abilities and understanding of mathematical concepts. They're supposed to measure your skills and knowledge in areas like reading, writing, and math, but beyond that, they also test your ability to manage time, handle pressure, and think critically under stress. These are all skills that will be invaluable in college and beyond. Think of them as a snapshot of your academic abilities, a way for colleges to see what you're made of. Your scores on these tests can give admissions officers a sense of your strengths and weaknesses, and help them determine if you're a good fit for their institution. But don't worry, we're going to break it all down for you, step by step. We'll guide you through the different sections of the tests, provide tips and strategies for tackling each one, and help you develop a study plan that works for you. With the right preparation and mindset, you can conquer these exams and take a big step towards achieving your college dreams. So take a deep breath, grab your thinking caps, and let's dive into the wild world of the SAT and ACT. Together we'll navigate this maze and come out on the other side, ready to take on whatever challenges college life throws our way. Let's get started. The SAT, or Scholastic Aptitude Test, has been around since 1926, like some kind of ancient academic artifact. It was originally designed to test a student's innate intelligence, but over the years, it's evolved to focus more on skills you learn in school. The ACT, or American College Testing, entered the scene a few decades later, in 1959. It was created to rival the SAT and offer a slightly different approach to college admissions testing. Both tests aim to assess your readiness for college, but they have distinct personalities and histories. Understanding their origins can give you some context for why they are the way they are today. Okay, let's get down to brass tacks. What are the actual differences between these two tests? First up, the format. The SAT has two main sections: evidence-based reading and writing, and math. It also has an optional essay section. The ACT, on the other hand, has four main sections: English, math, reading, and science. It also has an optional writing test. Another key difference is the time limit. The SAT is a bit more generous with time per question, while the ACT is more fast-paced. This can make a big difference depending on your test-taking style. Now let's talk numbers. The SAT is scored out of 1,600 with 800 possible points for each of the two main sections. The ACT, on the other hand, is scored out of 36, with each of the four sections receiving a score from 1 to 36. Confusing? A bit. But the good news is that most colleges accept scores from either test, so you don't necessarily need to take both. They have conversion charts to see how an SAT score compares to an ACT score. Just remember, a good score is relative. It depends on the colleges you're applying to and their specific requirements. Section 5, the college application puzzle, where test scores fit in. So, Where do these test scores fit into the grand scheme of your college application? Well, they're definitely an important piece of the puzzle. Colleges use them to get a sense of your academic abilities and how you might perform in a college setting, but here's the thing, they're not the be-all and end-all. Colleges also consider your GPA, your extracurricular activities, your essays, and your letters of recommendation. They're looking for well-rounded individuals, not just good test takers. Section 6. Mythbusters, busting common SAT/ACT myths. Let's clear the air and debunk some common myths about these exams, shall we? There are so many misconceptions floating around that can cause unnecessary stress and confusion for students preparing for the SAT or ACT. Myth number 1. Only Ivy Leagues care about SAT scores. This is a widespread belief that can make students feel like their efforts are only worthwhile if they aim for the top-tier schools. Not true. While top-tier universities do place a high value on standardized testing, so do many other colleges and universities. In fact, a good SAT or ACT score can open doors to scholarships and admissions at a wide range of institutions, not just the Ivy Leagues. Myth number 2. The SAT is easier than the ACT. Nope, not necessarily. This myth often leads students to choose one test over the other, without considering their personal strengths. It really depends on your strengths and weaknesses as a student. Each test has its own format and focus areas, and what might be easier for one person could be more challenging for another. Some people find the SAT's format more intuitive, especially if they are strong in reading and writing, while others prefer the ACT's content, which includes a science section, and tends to be more straightforward in its questioning style. And finally, myth number 3. You can cram for these tests. This is a dangerous misconception that can lead to a lot of stress and poor performance. While some last-minute review can be helpful, especially for refreshing your memory on key concepts, cramming is not an effective strategy. These exams are designed to test your cumulative knowledge and skills, not just what you can memorize in a short period. These tests cover a broad range of material that you've learned over many years. Consistent study and practice over time are the best ways to prepare. So take a deep breath, plan your study schedule wisely, and remember that these myths are just that, myths. Section 7. Gearing up for the exams. Study strategies and tips. Now that we've busted those myths, let's talk about how to actually prepare for these exams. First things first, practice, practice, practice. Familiarize yourself with the format, the types of questions, and the pacing. Take practice tests under timed conditions to simulate the real deal. And don't be afraid to ask for help. There are tons of resources available, from test prep books to online courses to one-on-one tutoring. Find what works best for you and stick with it. Section 8. To cram or not to cram effective test day strategies. The big day is here. You've prepped like a champ, and now it's time to put all that knowledge to the test. But how do you ensure that all your hard work pays off? It's all about having the right strategies in place. First and foremost, relax. Easier said than done, right? But taking a few moments to calm your mind can make a world of difference. Deep breathing exercises or a short meditation session can help center your thoughts and reduce anxiety. But seriously, try to manage your stress levels. Stress can cloud your thinking and make it harder to recall information. Find what works best for you, whether it's listening to calming music, doing some light stretching, or even visualizing a positive outcome. Get a good night's sleep, eat a healthy breakfast, and stay hydrated. Your brain needs fuel to function at its best, and skipping meals or skimping on sleep can leave you feeling sluggish and unfocused. Arrive at the testing center with plenty of time to spare. Rushing can increase your stress levels, so give yourself enough time to settle in and get comfortable with your surroundings. Check your watch, make sure you have all necessary materials, and take a few deep breaths. During the test, pace yourself, read each question carefully, and make sure you understand what's being asked before you start answering. It's easy to make mistakes when you're in a hurry, so take your time and stay focused. And don't dwell on the ones that stump you. If you come across a particularly challenging question, it's okay to skip it and come back later. This way you can ensure you're using your time efficiently and not getting bogged down. And hey, if you don't do as well as you'd hoped, don't sweat it. Remember, one test doesn't define your abilities or your future. It's just one step in your academic journey. You can always retake the test. Use the experience to learn and grow, and approach the next opportunity with a positive mindset. You've got this. Section 9. The big picture beyond the numbers. Listen, the SAT and ACT are just 2 data points in your college application. They don't define you as a student or as a person. Sure, they test important skills like critical thinking, problem solving, and time management, skills that will serve you well in college and beyond. But they don't measure your creativity, your passion, your empathy, or your resilience, all qualities that are equally important for success in life. So, yeah, take these exams seriously, prepare well, but don't let them stress you out or define your self-worth. You are so much more than a score.